Hello, welcome to the MMA Freaks Podcast. Stop laughing at me. I am one of your hosts, Cameron, and I am joined by my mate Damon.
How's it going, everyone?
Why'd you
Welcome
clap
back to the
before you
podcast.
said that?
I have no idea, but
He's getting pumped. He's getting ready.
yeah, exactly, man. It's an exciting time to be an MMA fan, and I'm very excited to be one.
All right. So this weekend, we've had a number of fights. We've got some news out of those fights, which I'm excited to get into. What are you doing?
Let's begin.
Your mic sounded so bad.
Yeah, sorry. I was moving some stuff around. I apologize.
Okay, so we had two fight cards this weekend, correct? So we had the fight night. Do we know what that was? Fight night something.
Not a clue. I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't
fight
watch
night
it, so
something.
I got no clue.
Main event: Justin Gaethje versus Michael Johnson. Also, the Tough 25 finale was on that. I don't watch Tough. You don't watch Tough either, do you, Damon?
Well, I can't watch stuff. I would if I could, but I cannot.
I can't stand reality TV, so I probably wouldn't even if I could.
Well,
The promos
good
look
point.
fun though.
Yeah.
So we had that fight night. We also had the UFC 213 pay-per-view. Obviously, Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero interim middleweight title. Very exciting stuff. So yeah, that's what we shall be talking about. But yeah, let's go back to that fight night though. The main event. What a fight. I watched it after the fight night, but Jesus, what a fight.
I literally only just watched it very recently.
Yeah.
So,
You just watched the highlights though, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I watched the highlights. I plan to watch the full fight at some point, but when I watched the highlights, like a great fight. And
Oh, it was so crazy because, like, just Justin Gaethje, he just doesn't move backwards. He just kept going forwards against Michael Johnson, and then he got, like, rocked. Like, Michael Johnson, like, uppercutted him, and then he ended up, like, on bottom for the end of that round, and then the next round, he, like, flying kneed him, and, oh, what a great fight. I do like this Justin Gaethje guy, if I can say his name right. Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll ever be the champion. I mean, he's like 17-0, but he's gonna get knocked out, I feel like, by Tony Ferguson, or I don't think he'll beat Conor if Conor ever comes back, but I don't think he'll beat Conor.
yeah, I wouldn't see him beating either of those two. But I mean, he did just put up a really good effort against number 5. Yeah, number 5
I think
ranked.
he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see him versus Kevin Lee.
Yeah, that would be really exciting.
Yeah. I'd also like to see Michael Johnson fight Michael Chiesa, or Chiesa. Still can't say it.
Chiesa.
But yeah, I mean, neither of us watched that fight night. That one guy, Jesse Taylor, I believe, won the Tough finale. So, yeah, that was that fight night. It was a great main event. Didn't really watch it. Didn't really watch
I can't
anything
really
else
give an
on the card.
opinion on that one.
But you know what we did watch, though? UFC 213. So that fight card, nothing that we originally thought was going to happen on the fight card really happened. I mean, like 2 fights got cancelled. I mean, we just like looked it up before the podcast. Actually, we're getting some pictures, and TJ Dillashaw versus Cody Garbrandt was originally supposed to be on that card with Nunes and Shevchenko as the co-main. And then obviously that bantamweight bout got cancelled, and
It all just fell
Nunes didn't show up. But yeah, let's go into that fight card. We didn't. There was another. So I have like a Pedersen Miller at the moment because we want to talk about that.
Yes.
Great fight, but there was another fight before that on the main card, I believe. But who was it with? Was it Ben Fort?
Yeah, Ben Fort and...
I don't know if his first name was Ben, by the way. I just know his last name was Fort.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's Ben Fort, something like that.
Yeah.
He won with the guillotine. It was like a very unorthodox-looking guillotine.
Yeah. I believe he was like
From what I remember.
something crazy, like the minus 700 favorite or something. Like he was predicted to win. But we don't really know those people. Let's get back on track between Pettis and Jim Miller.
Jim Miller.
So what do you think?
I thought it was a great fight, and as I said on the last podcast we did, I don't really know Jim Miller that well. I've never really watched any of his fights, but after seeing him in this last one, I actually kind of want to go back and watch some of his fights and see how he does in the future as well. But and Pettis, I don't think I've seen him do that well for a long time. Like, that was the old Pettis coming out.
Yeah, I mean, he got caught, I feel like. Like, I don't feel like it was like the old Pettis, I guess. I feel like he was getting lit up a bit, but it was just like a really good fight to watch.
Yeah, like, there was moments where he, like, had that whole, like, oh shit, he's in trouble. Oh, see you later. But then he just came back and he kept going and going. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, we both called that fight as well. We both picked Pettis to win. That's mostly because we don't really know Jim Miller that well. I know he fights a lot. I know he's a very active fighter.
Yeah.
But he's just not, like, up there. So I don't really know him that well. But, yeah, I really enjoyed this fight. Obviously, this is Pettis' first fight back at lightweight. Do you think that he can... How many fights do you reckon Pettis has left?
What is he? 30, I believe.
He's pretty young, yeah. I think he's like 30, 31.
Then again, he's been around for...
Yeah, that's the thing, though. I mean, you see guys like Yoel Romero who are 40 and they still look good, but they haven't had all that damage.
Yeah.
But then you see guys like Diego Sanchez who are like 30, but they've had all that damage. So, yeah. Apparently, Pettis broke his hand in that fight.
Wait, what? He did?
Yeah, apparently he re-aggravated the injury that he got in the Holloway fight.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know that either until the post-fight press conference.
Yeah, see, I didn't actually watch the press conference. I went out like straight after the pay-per-view, so...
Yeah, I watched them. I had no internet, obviously, you know that. I had no internet till today. We were recording this on a Monday night. Yeah, I had no internet all weekend. I had to go out to a pub to watch the fights because I couldn't watch them at home. So yeah, I watched all the post-fight press conferences today. And yeah, he broke his hand. Which, I mean... Good on you, Anthony Pettis, for getting that win, by the way. Like,
yeah,
it's just
like
good to see him win.
Breaking your hand and then still winning a fight. It's fair effort.
It is good just to see Anthony Pettis win, though.
Well, yeah, that too. Good to see him back in his deserved weight class, preferred weight class, I guess.
So he's not so depleted and stuff.
Yeah, he looks a lot better in this weight class.
Yeah, right moves, Anthony Pettis.
Like, as he said after fight, he's like, just stick to your own weight class. Just stay where you are. Don't try and cut weight or anything like that. Just stay where you are. I thought that was like pretty funny. He's like, yep, I don't recommend that. Just stay still.
Well, you know who doesn't have to cut weight? Dana White and Travis Brown. Them segues though. So also in the post-fight press conferences, we were kind of moving on a bit here, but earlier in that night, I believe it was UFC 213 prelims, Travis Brown fought, and he lost by a rear naked choke, I believe. It was like submission of the weekend or submission of the night, I believe.
It was a really nice submission. I remember watching that. It was.
Yeah, I didn't end up watching the fight. I didn't even know he was fighting this weekend until I heard he did.
I knew he was fighting, but for some reason I thought he'd be on the main. But he just wasn't, so. Like, I only caught the last round of that fight before. So,
Yeah.
so the ending.
Anyway, what we're talking about with the post-fight press conferences is that, Travis Brown falling on some hard times, got knocked out by Derek Lewis in his last fight, apart from this last fight, and then he got tracked out in this last fight, excuse me. And what was the last fight he won?
I honestly can't remember.
He's lost something like 5 out of his last 6.
No, I'm actually going to Google that right now. I'm going to see what.
Yeah, you Google that. But anyway, Dana White said when Ariel, I believe it was Ariel, asked him, do you think Travis Brown should retire? And he said yes. And then Ariel, I believe, said, have you told him that? And he said no. But I just wanted to get your thoughts, Damon, on Travis Brown. Like, he used to be he was like the number 2 heavyweight in the world, and then he just wasn't.
I mean, what, he's 34 now. He hasn't.
But that's like heavyweights, though.
Yeah, I know, but still hasn't. It's been what? It's been 4 fights since his last win. Well, I guess 5 fights since the 5th fight was his win, and that was against Matt Mitrione. So,
that's not bad.
I mean,
you beat Matt Mitrione. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But that's not good though. How long ago was that? Can you see?
That was the start of 2016. Then since then, it has been a loss to Velasquez, a loss to Verdum, a loss to Lewis, and then a loss to Olenek, which was the most recent fight.
Man, what happened to Travis Brown? I think I agree with Dana White and think that Travis should retire.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't really see much else happening for him here. It's just...
I mean, he's not going to be a champion again.
It's all going downhill, really.
It's always the question, though. Like, I always think about what do those guys think who have gone past their prime? Who are those people that, have realized, like, oh shit, I'm not going to be champion. Like, this dream doesn't end good for me.
Are they just, like, money hunting at this point? Or are they just trying to, like, fill their bank account?
I mean, maybe it's because, like, this is all they do. And maybe it is financial as well, I guess.
Yeah.
And also, maybe it's just they love it, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, it could also be love of the sport or something like that. But most of it, I probably just see it as it's the financial, really. Yeah. Especially for guys who know they can't really go anymore, but realize they can still probably pocket a fair amount from it.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe Travis is finding out the rest of his contract. Hey, maybe the reason why Dana White said he should retire is because they signed like a 6-fight contract deal back when he was like the number 2 contender. So like, he gets like 300,000 a fight and like 100,000 if he wins, and Dana doesn't want to keep paying him that because he's lost his last 4. maybe that was it. Who knows?
Quite possibly, but anything's a chance. Could just be, hey, Ronda's probably going to retire soon, so you should too.
Well, Ronda is retired. Let's not bullshit here. Ronda is retired.
But you don't see her coming back unless something miraculous happens. A $1 million payday, some bullshit like that. That would be insane.
Even then, though, it's like, what? She last fought on New Year's, and before that, she hadn't fought in over a year.
Yeah, I don't see her returning, but it would have to be under really extreme circumstances for her to return. Anyway, off topic again. We're really good at that.
No, it's okay. I put up a picture of Travis Brown with Ronda, so it's good.
That's easy. Nice.
Also, by the way, mint tweets by Derek Lewis about Ronda after Travis lost. It's like, it's okay, Ronda. He's like, keep my name out your mouth there, Mr. Travis Brown.
As we were just talking about with like Brown trying to fight for money, staying on this whole money topic and can kind of help us move along to our next subject, Alistair Overeem earning 800 plus K for that last fight.
Yeah, he had more than the champion in his...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was like 860 or something like that. I think he nearly got more than both of them combined, like, the main event, which was crazy.
He's been doing it for a long-ass time, though. He's been fighting since 2006. And even, like, the fact that he's a heavyweights normally get paid more.
Yeah, of course. Like, they should. They're probably the most at risk of anything.
Can you believe that Alistair Overeem's been knocked out more than anyone in the UFC, and he's still, like, the number 2 contender?
I actually can't believe it. Holy fuck.
Like, it's hard to believe, like, man, he's, like, been knocked out more than anyone. And he's only been fighting, like, the top 3 guys, essentially. Like, for the past, how many years? Ever since it, like, oh man, god damn Alistair Overeem. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about that fight. By the way, the Overeem fight. You didn't like the decision. It's a very controversial decision. Not a lot of people like the decision.
I really thought Verdum won that. I mean, the first round was really close. But I believe Verdum, like, he had double the strikes of Reem in that first round. I'm pretty sure it was something like that. So, like, that, I think, kind of pushed him over the line there.
Can you pull up the actual fight stats, like, round by round?
I can try my best.
Yeah, because I find it hard to believe that. I mean, I was watching the fights... by the way, just for the record, we both picked Alistair Overeem. We are both 2 for 2 in our picks. Just for those people who are counting.
I don't think there is anyone, but...
No, there is no one listening to this. But...
We're just doing this for fun.
I thought Alistair Overeem, I thought he clearly won the first and second round. I didn't think there was any... decision. I mean, you look at the fight stats and it's like, Verdum landed like 106 out of like 180 strikes and got 1 takedown and 1 knockdown. And compared to like Alistair Overeem's like, I don't know, something like 39 out of 50 or something strikes. But you got to look at when those were landed. I feel like all of those were like everything, the takedown, the knockdown, all those strikes, they all happened in the last round. By the way, what a dumbass takedown by Verdum. Who, like, he had... Oh,
yeah, I
he had him rocked against the cage, and he could have just ended it. But instead he took him down.
Yeah, he should have just kept on him at that point.
Yeah, he could have won that fight.
He should have won it by a stoppage for sure. He should have stopped that fight. I cannot find the stats for that fight. Should have stopped it.
Alistair wasn't out.
No. I mean, Verdum could have.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the referee. They should have stopped him.
No.
Like, no.
We do not want that happening again. Not 2 in a row. I couldn't handle that.
I can't watch Mario ever ref a fight ever again. Like, even when we're playing UFC 2, whenever we get, like, Mario as the ref, we're like, no. I didn't tap whenever we submit each other. I didn't tap. What are you talking about?
But yes, anyway, that fight, I feel like the correct result should have been a draw, but if the win were to go anyone, it should have been Verdum.
That's how I scored that fight. I scored that fight 10-9 Overeem first round, 10-9 Overeem second round, 10-8, especially since they're doing more lenient 10-8s for Verdum third round.
Yeah.
I thought it was a draw. I mean, we were texting each other during the fights, and I texted him draw ? And you said looks like it.
Well, like, I really don't see how it wasn't a draw. Like, and as Rogan said during the fight, I believe he's like, we need a better point system in place for this.
They've been saying that for years, though. I mean, it is the boxing system, but and I just realized like this pitch is like off center. Oh, that's gonna annoy me.
Oh, bad editing! Bad editing.
I can't even get it on center.
Oh well.
Stop it.
It's a minimal worry. Or one person who watches this. Thank you for tuning in, by the way.
We can't keep saying that, Damon, because otherwise it just gets cringy. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is fun. We gotta speak like there are people listening, so that people listen.
I mean, we could all of a sudden just go big, get 10K viewers, but for all we know, there could just be one person watching at that specific time, and we may have just tripped that person out.
Sorry for that.
Okay, we go back to the UFC.
Let's move on, though. Let's move on.
Yes.
Amanda Nunes. Obviously, she didn't fight this weekend.
I'm really upset about that. I thought she was better than that, and like she was cleared to fight, but all of a sudden it's like, nah, rather not.
That was the only fight we actually. I think it was that and a Robbie Lawler Cowboy fight was the only fight we disagreed on.
Yeah.
But even that fight, when we talked about it, was cancelled anyway, so we're kind of just making up picks for 214.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the only fight that we were like, not
actually had something to go at each other about, and now it's just like,
now you ruined it, Amanda.
Thanks. Give the title to Shevchenko.
Dana White said in the post-fight press conferences to this fight that he'd never have Nunes as a main
headline again. Well, it's the headline. Well,
yeah,
it could be a current, but yeah, I completely agree. I read a comment on this group that I'm in, right? And they're like,
"What is the group?"
I'm driving off there. It's the same name as our thing. So, go find that on Facebook, everybody. Link in the description.
No, I won't put it in the description. Stop making work for me.
Anyway, I saw a thing on there, and someone was saying for the main event, they should have a stand-in fighter, and that should be ready on call at all times and have like a signed thing, and the commission's fine with it and all that stuff. And like, so if someone pulls out, it's like, hey, here's the replacement fight. It's there. It's set. It's good to go. And then someone's like, oh, but what if the champ pulls out? Well, interim titles, and if there's already an interim title in place, that's the only problem, I guess. I mean, there's a hell of a lot.
That's a rare problem, though.
I know, it's a very rare problem, but I guess it stops the problem that we have at the moment with people pulling out of fights so close to the card. I think
there's pulled out within like that
8 hours of the fight itself.
Yeah, true. But I think there's a problem with having that automatic stand-in fighter, because then if that person also has to show up and make weight, then you have to pay that person too. I feel like if fighters want to take it on their own initiative to say, oh, there's a title fight coming up, if one person pulls out, I'm going to be ready. So they start training and they call up Dana White, like even if the fight's completely fine and intact, like, like a week before or 2 weeks before, being like, hey, I'm training. I can make the weight. If anything happens, call me. Then that's okay for the fighter to do. But I don't think you could have like just stand-ins, especially in our sport.
Well, yeah, that's the only problem is you train for one person, and then that other person coming in, they'll have a big advantage because they'll have that little bit of training against like people who are,
But I guess that's why like Dana White always gives props to Conor McGregor, because even when fighters did pull out, he was always like, well, yep, let's do it then. Let's like, when he was fighting Aldo and then Aldo pulled out, so they fought for the interim. 45 thing against Chad Mendes, who's a completely different style.
Yeah.
That's why Conor McGregor is the best champion and person and fighter ever. No one can disagree.
I mean, that's another day to speak about that one.
Yeah.
Could be a very long topic.
We'll run out of time if we keep speaking.
Yeah.
So anyway,
like a 24-hour podcast otherwise.
24-hour podcast of just Conor McGregor dick riding. Let's also talk about, though, Amanda Nunes. So she pulled out the fight. She was medically cleared, but apparently she had sinusitis, which is why her sinuses got, like, really inflamed or something like that. Apparently she has chronic sinusitis, which affected her in her weight cut, which means she couldn't actually breathe through her nose or mouth. So that's why she pulled out, even though she was technically medically cleared. Because if she got punched in the nose, then she couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be mad at that, but it sucks, but...
Yeah, like...
At first I thought it was a weight cut thing, and I was like, man, they're going to have to do something, because first, like, Khabib, and now this, like, we're going to need to do something. I don't know what that would be, but something.
Just do something, please.
But it was not to do with the weight cut. I guess
it was a genuine injury concern.
Yeah, well, she has apparently chronic sinusitis, so it happens regularly, I guess. And she's had it before, so I mean, I guess bummer. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to find the words to like what do you say?
Yeah, there's not much. It's like, I mean, she was cleared, but
she didn't feel good.
Yeah, I
mean, Shevchenko. I mean, feel bad because that
I mean, I don't feel too bad for her. She got a payday for doing nothing, so can't really feel that bad.
Yeah, but I'm sure she would have rather have fought.
Oh, of course. I mean, I would have rather fought for the title than just, do all that training just to sit there and watch the pay-per-view that I was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
How about Joanna, though, being like, hey, I'll fight you.
Oh, I know.
And she's like, man, I would have fought her, but I couldn't get my medicals done in 8 hours, unfortunately. I didn't get the test back, so sorry. What a gangster. What an absolute gangster.
Honestly, I would have loved that so much. It would have been interesting.
I don't. It's hard to I'm not sure if
it's hard to not love Joanna
would have won that. But it's hard
I'm not sure if she would have won, but yeah.
You are right about that.
Yes.
Let's talk about the final. The final
main
topic
event of the
podcast. The main event of the evening. Obviously, our boy, Robert Whittaker. New middleweight champion of the world.
First ever Australian/New Zealand UFC champion ever.
And by the way, the pictures I have up right now, the one on the left is a Boss Logic picture. I want to shout out Boss Logic on Twitter. Like, the picture is just brilliant. It's Robert Whittaker. He has the belt around him. In the background, it has the pictures of all the people, his last 8 fights with crosses on them. And then he's holding a, like the Grim Reaper's scythe or whatever it is. And it has 8 tallies on it, crossed out to give him an 8-fight win streak. And then the quote for this picture was, you can be a king or a street sweeper, but everybody dances with the Grim Reaper. And then he's holding a picture of Michael Bisping in his other hand. It's such a good picture. So shout out to Boss Logic for that.
About that 8-fight win streak, he actually has the longest active win streak in the division.
Yeah. Who has the longest active win streak in the UFC, do you know?
I I'm not sure. My guess would probably be Stipe, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
No, I don't think Stipe. It might be Khabib, I guess.
Yeah, possibly.
But I don't think Khabib's that active. He might only have like 6 fights. I mean, he's on the 8-fight win streak, and that's 1 in welterweight.
I'm probably stupid. I just completely forgot about him. But that's kind of bad considering what's going on and, his pay. DJ, Mighty Mouse.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's
fuck.
kind of their whole point about what they're fighting about in that weight class.
Yeah.
Them being forgotten. Ooh.
I mean, the last fight
feels bad, man.
Was to Dominic. That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it have to be.
Anyway, we're getting off topic again.
Yeah. Amazing fight.
Amazing fight.
Amazing.
God, Robert Whittaker. I mean, I tweeted this after the fight. He has to have the best ground and takedown defense against the cage than anyone in the UFC. I mean, he stopped an Olympic wrestler who had his back, and every time
a silver medalist.
He has never not placed in a podium position in any wrestling competition he's ever entered. Yoel, he's never not placed. I mean, that's like mad props to Robert Whittaker.
For sure.
Oh, I was so scared for him. Like whenever we were in a bad position.
First 2 rounds, I saw all those takedowns being thrown at him, and he would just stuff them. I was like, oh my god.
And the ones that he didn't win, he would get against the cage and just taking a page out of Crow Cop. Crow Cop's takedown defense. You're not getting him down against the cage.
Some of those he fought out of was so good as well. Like when he was up against the cage, and you just hear the crowd go off whenever it happened too. It was.
I was so terrified when he was on the ground in the middle of the octagon.
Oh yeah,
with Yoel on top of him.
That I was
like, oh no, the fight's over. It's over.
Ragdolled. Yoel actually ragdolled him at one point, and yet.
And then he managed to get to his
still ended up on the
in the middle of the octagon, and then and then dragged himself and Yoel up against the cage, so then he could work him off on the cage. What a great fighter! And his knee. Did you see that bit where?
Yeah. From what was it, the second round onwards?
I think it was in the first round. I think he just stomped on his leg.
Yeah, the what do you call it? The oblique kick, I think that's what they call.
Stomp on his leg. He just jumped and just went with his heel right on his thigh.
Technical term.
Frontward side kick, oblique kick.
In quotation marks, that was the technical.
No. The actual name is took his leg up and went in his thigh. That's the actual name. Just
His little grunt at his press conference.
Oh, that was bad though.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Back to the fight. Got past the second, through to the third, where Robert started taking over, and Yoel started getting gassed. Pretty much everyone knew it was going to happen if it went past the third, that Yoel was just going to run out.
I was nervous about Yoel's cardio though. I thought he had greatly improved it. Apparently not enough.
Yeah, you could see he was just conserving it to have that explosive power in those short stints every time. There was a time there he went, I think, 3 minutes without throwing one strike.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was a long time.
I was concerned about Whittaker's cardio as well, because he was throwing a lot in the first and second round.
Yeah.
So in that fourth and fifth round, he was really. I was like, oh, he's slowed down.
In the fourth, he was okay, but it was in the fifth where he really, really started to slow down. And
which made me.
I think at that time it was safe for him since Yoel was pretty much out on his feet, just deep breaths, so heavy breaths.
Yeah, he was just so tired. I mean, it was hard to Yeah. But that makes me nervous with a fight with him and Michael Bisping, because Michael Bisping, lowest resting heart rate in the UFC, no cardio problems there ever.
I probably don't see that fight going past the first 3 rounds anyway, though. Like, Bisping doesn't mind standing up.
I'm hoping for like a Robbie Lawler McDonald 2 fight. Like, it'd be so good. So good.
Like, I mean, I think Bisping, you know, sitting there live and watching him stop Yoel taking him down, he's going to be like, I think he might have it in his head. Like, Bisping is one of the mentally strong guys and the thing. But I still think he'll have that thought of, well, shit.
Yeah, I don't think Bisping's going to have a chance of taking down Whittaker, especially when an Olympic wrestler can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've kind of ran out of time here, man.
Well, yeah.
We've gone a bit over time, in fact.
I mean, we can go a bit longer.
Can we? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go a bit longer then.
We still got like 1 or 2 things to talk about. I want to talk about the end of this fight anyway. The end, right, where Whittaker had Yoel on his back and he was just dropping elbows, and it was like
that was so good. Everyone in the pub that I was in was like, yes.
I seriously thought he was going to finish him on the ground, and I was like,
oh, that would have been insane.
I was like, he's going to finish him on the ground. Is this real? What's happening?
I remember thinking when I saw him dive on him, and there was like 1 minute and 12 seconds. I was like, he's using dog UFC 2 tactics, where you take him down right at the end of the round so that you sway the judges.
I honestly got so surprised when he dove on him. I was like, wait, Whittaker dove on someone? I have never seen that one happen. What? Like, anytime anyone's on their ground, like on their back, Whittaker's just waits for them to get up, and then
I think he was being smart. I think he knew how much time he had left, and he he saw the position. He was like, I can easily get top position here, and he nearly mounted him. Like, he nearly mounted him.
He nearly got the mount, and then it was just that split lift, and it was like,
Yeah, he got to half guard though. I nearly got to side.
I mean, you know, he advanced the position. He advanced the position, so, you know.
Yeah, he was doing very well. Very, very proud of Bobby Knuckles.
Yeah, very, very proud. It was a great moment to watch.
I just want to say, in that fight, I love that they took Michael Bisping and placed him right behind Yoel. Like, I saw that before the fight started, when Yoel was in his car. I saw Michael Bisping behind him, and I was like, I know what they're doing. Yeah, let's talk about the post-fight interview, though. With Bisping comes in and throws his title at Whittaker's feet.
Before that, I want to talk about him and Yoel. Yoel sitting there sticking his tongue out at Bisping, and them two, Nelly going at it. Right?
Oh, yeah, when he came into the octagon.
Yeah. Like, oh boy, I thought it was like, oh, well, here we go. Yoel's going to have a second fight. All right, cool.
I think that was because Yoel, talking about Yoel, we're still talking about Yoel. When he came out and walked out and he started smashing his chest, making fun of Robert Whittaker, and he hit his coach in the face.
Yeah, that was amazing. I still can't believe that happened.
He started smashing his chest like Robert Whittaker does, and then he hits his coach.
Just a wild hand just swings and goes whack right into his coach.
Takes talent, Yoel. Takes talent, okay?
Yeah. See, no, the only reason Yoel lost, he was worried about his coach the whole fight. It's that simple. That's his excuse. He's like, oh, I thought I'd knocked out my coach before the fight. I was worried.
The reason Yoel lost the fight annoyed me, because he was like, man, it's all part of God's plan. You know, this is a blessing. And I'm like, oh my God, just it annoys me. It just annoys me. Let's talk about Bisping and Whittaker though after the fight.
One more thing I wanted to talk about during that fight. Sorry, as Romero.
This is like a 40-minute podcast, by the way. We were supposed to only go for like half an hour.
Yeah, it's gone overtime. The moment where Bisping ripped up the flag. And
Yeah, we'll speak about that in a second though, man. That's my next slide,
Yeah.
okay? Okay? You're jumping ahead.
Okay.
You're jumping ahead in the queue. Let's talk about the post-fight.
I mean, it happened before the post-fight.
Okay, we'll talk about it first then.
We're talking about the order of doing it in chronological order. Chronological? I think that's what I'm looking for there. Anyway, yes.
Yeah, chronological, yeah. Okay, so Bisping ripped up a Cuban flag and threw it at Yoel in this corner. Gotta love Michael Bisping. But he's a bit
Funny moment, but I feel like there may be consequences to that one because it's a flag and whatnot.
It was really intense at the post fight. You should look up Yoel at the post fight talking about Michael Bisping when he's like, when Ariel's asking him, and he's like, "Do you have a flag? Yes. Do you love your flag? Yes." And I loved how he was speaking in I don't know, whatever language Cubans speak. Portuguese, Cubans speak Cubanese. I don't know.
I don't want to answer that just because I don't know.
And I loved how it was so tension building in the room when he would speak and then the translator spoke and he would wait for his pause. I thought that was really powerful. Just the way it was said. I just really liked it. When he's like, "Do you have a flag? Yes. Do you love your flag? Yes. Would you die for your flag? Same."
My favorite moment was the grunt at the end.
Yeah, where he goes. That was my favorite bit as well, where he just didn't say yes. He was just like, and he just had this look in his eyes because Yoel's always smiling,
Yeah.
And just the way he just was dead serious, it scared me, to be honest.
Yeah, it looked like someone was gonna die.
And now I'm really interested to see Michael Bisping Yoel fight.
Yeah,
that didn't interest me at all before.
I think if Whittaker wins, or even if Whittaker loses, Yoel versus Bisping is the next fight, no matter what.
I don't think Bisping's gonna fight Yoel before he retires. I think he's gonna fight. I think he's gonna lose to Whittaker. He's gonna fight. No, he's not gonna fight GSP. GSP won't fight him unless he's the champ. GSP won't fight him unless he's the champ.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point there.
And GSP ain't fighting Whittaker.
Yeah,
I am sure. I don't think Bisping fights Yoel before he retires. But goddamn, that flag ripping up and just that was some intense shit.
Think about that might actually happen. I know you said it won't, but I don't know. You think about it, it could be a big money fight there. Maybe not big money, but the freaking rivalry.
Maybe he fights in England.
Ripped up his flag and then threw it at him. Fucking imagine if they fought in Cuba. Oh boy.
I don't think they'd fight in Cuba. If they fought in Florida, I reckon it would be good.
Oh, well, yeah, that too. That's the equivalent of Cuba.
It's 60% Cuban there, so in Miami, Florida, it's 60% Cuban. I saw Scarface.
I saw Scarface. I know what to say.
I didn't say Scarface. I'd stopped watching after the first 10 minutes. God damn that movie. I mean, I watch MMA. I watch the most brutal sport in the world. But when there's a dude and he's chainsawing his mate and he's making him watch, in the bathtub, oh man. Anyway, let's go back. We're traveling back.
Where we are, this is why our podcast run long, because
we get off
those moments there. Yeah, we're really good at that.
Anyway, back Michael Bisping post-fight interview.
Throwing the belt at Whittaker's feet.
And Whittaker's like, "Can I keep that?"
Yeah. I like how when he first did it, you see Whittaker slowly reach down to grab it. You see him crouch tiny bit. It's oh no.
And then Dana snatches it.
Yeah, he got that so fast.
He's like, "Can I keep that?" He's like, "I don't think you can deface the belt here." Michael Bisping, because that's essentially what he did. You know, he kind of diminished it a bit by throwing it on the ground.
I'd say he made his point. I don't think he diminished it. I'd say he made a very strong point.
Yeah, I think God, I'm using this word again. It's very powerful when you see someone throw a UFC championship on the floor, because you don't see that.
I got to laugh at all the McGregor fans. They're all sitting there like, "Oh, look at this wannabe McGregor." It's like, you guys.
Michael Bisping was way before McGregor ever did.
Yeah, I was like, you realize Bisping was McGregor before McGregor was McGregor. Like, come on, seriously.
And first of all, second of all, don't you ever compare Michael Bisping to Conor McGregor ever?
Oh yeah, 10 times the fighter.
How excited are you for a Whittaker Bisping fight? To be honest, like, it's going to be so good.
I'm excited. It's going to be the Smashes too.
Yeah, the Smashes. I don't think the UFC knows. I don't think Dana White has no idea.
Oh, I think they do, because they called it the Smashes. Obviously, they'd have a clue.
Yeah, but that's like Americans trying to like emulate. Like, they don't understand, because they're not cultured in the heritage. They just look at it like, oh, the Smashes. Oh, like this is something that. Well, yeah, they don't understand the whole like actual.
They don't understand that it's all the British people and their criminals that come up with it.
It's going to be so good if it's in Australia. I don't think it'll be in Australia. I think it'll be in England. But be prepared to hate Michael Bisping, I guess.
Yeah.
Robert Whittaker's too nice. He's too nice to hate.
Yeah. Like, even after the thing, he just didn't even want to get involved in smack talk. He was just sitting there, like, all laughy about it.
Even at the Fox desk, Michael Bisping was there and he was interviewing. It was so good. Like, he was a class act. And, yeah, they were even like, they were talking like a little bit of crap to each other, but he was like, no, I respect Michael Bisping as a champion, and, you know, we're going to fight. So,
anything else?
Well, do you reckon we'll save the promo?
Yeah, for sure, save the promo for the next.
Okay, well then that's it then.
So if we have it closer. Alright, well.
Oh, this has been your MMA Freaks podcast. A little bit overtime. We're going to start doing 2 half-an-hour podcasts a week. We just found out. Or
at least we're going to try.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working and stuff.
It may be 1 a week, depending on what's happened and if there's been a fight card that's worth talking about beforehand.
Or I mean, if it's a slow week.
If there's enough news, yeah. Well, if it's a very slow week, there may even not be one at all.
Yeah, but we can. We'll try it. We'll try to.
We'll try and find something. Yeah,
not 2 a week.
Chuck on some UFC 2 or something and just talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk
we
about
really need
some past some.
We'll just talk some shit.
Yeah, we'll talk about like fighters that we like, or we'll think of something. Okay.
Or we'll go back and have like a flashback moment of like, hey, UFC 173.
Take back Tuesdays. Great card. UFC 113, Lyoto Machida versus Shogun 2. Yep, guys, I know that off the top of my head. I know every UFC off the top of my head, okay?
So
I totally do Google that.
he Googled that before we started, so he stops bragging. Fucking idiot.
Okay, we need to end this. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
MMA Freaks podcast. I am Cameron. That is Damon.
And I am Damon.
We out.